right. Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you, kept back by a fraud, crying.
Right. That's us, you know, because they put us in slavery, made us build up this country from can't see to can't see, man. Blood, sweat, tears, everything. Rape, rob, murder us. All right. And then you talk about reparations. The real reparations is you building up our kingdom, man. Mm-hmm. The real reparations of you is you being killed with the sword. That's the only way you can pay us back. That's the only way to cleanse America, man. All right. That's
right.
Yeah, and another fun fact for anybody out there, when Esau says, well, the Emancipation Proclamation, you were freed in 1876. Guess what two oppressive things started you were freed in 1865. Guess what two oppressing regimes started in 1865? The Ku Klux Klan and segregation, Jim Crow laws, all right? So when you show the 1950s with your Leave It to Fucking Beavers, all right, and your automobiles and your TVs, right? Well, guess what? Jake was fucked up while Esau was pushing a nuclear family, you know? Well, soon that family is gonna get nuclear,
that's
man.
Right.
But see, that's the gritty nature that America doesn't like to talk about. We are segregated, which there will be segregation in the kingdom. The way he did it was complete wickedness.
Right.
You know?
Right. And even when Jake did get ahead with so-called, Black Wall Street, they bombed it.
Yeah.
You know, so even if he did get some type of, financial grounding in his country, it was destroyed, man. It was totally stolen from him. There's so many black farmers that they got killed and got their land stolen, man. And they just forced Jake into the concrete jungles, man. That's how they do.
They forced Jake to make their own bus system until they destroyed that. You know, when you really see, there's two people we can talk about. We can get on Jake, that's judgment. But the reason why we also get on Esau, because he furthered the affliction, and then he's the father of lies, so he lies you and tries to push fucking equality.
Right.
Be a fucking man and just admit this was a hateful country towards the Israelites.
Right.
It's not racism, it's hatred. It's hatredism.
Right.
You know? It's fucking nothing. That's why all the advertisements are Edomites, because the advertisements came out in the 1950s. Yep. And in the 1950s, they were fighting for civil rights. So you think they was gonna put some black face on the fucking meat market to sell to white people?
Right.
This country was built for and to Esau. But it's the problem with Jake that believes because of civil rights, now he has equal rights. No, we don't have equal rights, we have above rights.
Right, and even with that whole civil rights movement, that brought in more rights for so-called Asians.
White women.
White women, and people of different nationalities, man. It did not help us one bit, man. You know?
Yeah, what proves that is they skipped right over the Israelite man and jumped right to the Moes. Yep. You know, and the Lisa Leslies and the T-Mobiles. Just skip right over your ass. It's like, oh, why don't they put a Jake in this movie? Well, I'll give you a Jake, but it's gonna be a Jake woman. You know, it could be a black man. That's why the other day I was looking up African superheroes. I'm like, I'm tired of looking at Edomite superheroes. Right. Let me look up some other ones. And they had some dope ones. So I'm like, that's Jake. They had some dope ones out there, man, because you got to get past white America sometimes, man. You know?
It's brainwashing, man. You know, really it's witchcraft, because what we're doing is the brainwashing.
Yep.
You know, and you have been deluded.
Yep. Yep.
Back in St. James 5 and verse 4, and it says, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabbath.
Right, so the Lord is hearing us now. The Lord is hearing our cries, and that's good. You know, because it says pray till the answer come, and give them no rest. You know?
Yeah, not even on the rest day. Because remember they got at Yahushua for peeling the corn, but he was doing the work. So it's good to do the work.
Good works.
There you
it's
go.
lawful to do good works on the Sabbath.
Right.
But then Yahushua cut him, like you wouldn't leave your sheep in the hole,
right,
even if it was a Sabbath.
Right.
So why can't I feed my men?
Right. Which one of them probably literally did that.
Yeah.
So he was cutting them with something they actually did.
Right. They did it.
Right.
On verse 5, ye have lived in pleasure on the earth and been wanton. Ye have nourished your hearts as in the day of slaughter.
Right. This man, he has the fatness of the earth. Okay, he has military bases all over the damn place, but he won't stop there. He wants actually control over your body. Mm-hmm. He really wants your soul, man. Okay, he wants to put a charagma in you. He wants to put his juice in you. He wants you to bow down to him. He wants you to acknowledge him as your God. Riches are not enough for this man. Okay, that's why in the book of Habakkuk,
I was going there.
You got it?
I'm going there now.
Sure.
Oh, you got it, bro. Make your point. Sure.
I was going to say, that's why it says in Habakkuk that, he's as hell, he can never be satisfied.
That's right.
This is Habakkuk 2 and 4. And it says, hey man, and I love when the Spirit allows us to get on Esau, man, because he's a fucking problem. Right. He's a problem, you know? This guy is literally the problem out here. And right after Esau is Jake. Right after Esau, Jake's the problem. Habakkuk 2 and 4, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith.
Right, so how can this man be saved? But you still got people that want to argue, you know, Edomites can make it, the Bible is for everyone can be saved. This is not for everyone, man. Right. So you got a man whose soul ain't upright in him, so what does that leave room for? Wickedness. That's why I told you Malachi, he's the border of wickedness, man. You go to Maccabees, as soon as he got into power, wickedness increased in the earth. Pedophilia, homosexuality, rape, rob, murder, adultery, idolatry, man. Okay, this motherfucker put an ego in the temple. That's why you had the zealots rise up, because they were defiling our temple again, man.
They forced our hand, if you will. You know?
Well, he kills women and children. We got Herod, he's actually a baby killer.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's why Samuel said to King Eglon, the Edomite, or Agag. Agag. When Samuel didn't kill him, or excuse me, when Saul didn't kill him, Samuel said, it's the same way you made women or mothers childless, your mother's gonna be childless, nigga. Right. Ain't fucking, you know? He tomahawk cut his ass up, man. And that's why we didn't have the land of Amalek under Saul. We had the land of Amalek under King David. And the land of Edom. When you look at what King Saul did in his rulership, our land was small.
Right, our borders.
The water, our border was small, but under King David, all the nations that surrounded us were no longer there. Yep. They were no longer there.
It was conquered. Man.
Yep.
And it was Israelites, and what David did was he put garrisons, which is where Esau get it from. Leaving his bases everywhere. Yep. If you attack that garrison, that's an attack on that country or that nation. So what happens in America? If you got a military base in Iraq, if they attack that base, that's an attack on America.
Yep.
You know?
Well, he put a garrison in the land of Jerusalem. Remember when he came in peaceably? He set up a fucking embassy.
He put heathens in it.
Yeah.
Kicked Jake out. He was fucking dallying with harlots in the temple. All type of sick shit, man.
Can I read it for you?
Go.
This is 1 Maccabees 1 and 30. It says 29. And after 2 years fully expired, the king, this is an Edomite king, sent his chief collector of tribute unto the cities of Judah, who came unto Jerusalem with a great multitude, and spake peaceable words unto them, but all was deceit.
Right, so you got to imagine, man, in our land, we're really that city on the hill, so we're surrounded by all the other nations, man. So they were constantly watching on us, plotting on us on how they could destroy us. That's why I told you in Judah the 5th chapter, they were plotting on how can we take these people down. And they came to the conclusion the only way for them to take us down is if they be separated from their power. So that's how that's the only way they can get us.
It's true to a degree. Within prophecy prevailed that, you know. It says, for when 1 Maccabees 1 and 30, for when they had given him credence, he fell suddenly upon the city.
Right, pretty much they saluted him. You know, they greeted him peacefully. That's what credence means. And they welcomed him. And Jake does that today. Jake will welcome Edomite before he welcomes you, man. Okay? If we were white men out here, it'd be niggas all surrounding us.
And women.
And children.
Yeah.
You know?
So the Lord didn't make us a cake unturned. I told a brother, I said, could you imagine if we looked like Edomites out here acting like this? It'd be a stumbling block. You know what I mean? There's white men saying nigga. Right. What you mean, nigga? You know what I mean?
That's who most wanted.
Right.
You got the spirit of a Jacob.
Yep.
He just couldn't take it.
Yep. She said that. She said, did they ever consider you this is how he is? They said, no. What do you mean? It says, he fell suddenly upon the city and smote it very sore. And that reminds me of the scene him going back with Braveheart when he was going in to meet one of the kings, like King Bruce or something. You know, he was kind of had his guard up. The guys grabbed his horse, and then he looked, and out of nowhere, boom, they jumped on him. You know, that's what Esau did. They were thinking, oh, he's just coming for tribute. You know, just do what he says, he's going to leave. And then boom, they just started jacking him up.
Well, that shows you he's a coward, you know, because they greeted him peacefully. They were at peace with him. But as soon as they were at peace with him, that's when he destroyed them.
That's what he's going to do now with his flesh wound, you know.
Oh, by peace he shall destroy many.
See?
Tells you that in Daniel.
See?
You know.
And it says, and smote it very sore and destroyed much people of Israel. And when he had taken the spoils of the city, he set it on fire and pulled down the houses and walls thereof on every side. but the women and children took they captive.
They took them as slaves, man. All right, put them in slavery. You know, put them in slaves in the army, made the women sex slaves.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. And that's why we get on the women today. Okay? Because here it is, at one point in time, he was forcing himself on you, and now you're forcing your fucking self on him. You Brittany Renners, you know, you're what the hell they call them, the sugar daddies.
Yep.
You know, that shit's disgusting, man. And you black woman, you Spanish woman, you're gonna feel so fucking ashamed allowing your oppressor to pop your ass freely now, man. You know, that shit's crazy.
Yeah, I saw this video on IG with this young Israelite woman. You know, she looked alright too.
Attractive.
But you know, she's with some old ass rusty double.
Yep.
All right. On a bucket look like you touch animals.
Yep. On a boat somewhere, and then you got the fucking you got the agenda World Star Hip Hop. Was that shit set up through the elites to keep a nigga spirit on you? Yep. They had a video saying old head ready to risk it all, and it's a young black woman in a jacuzzi with an overweight white guy. So they're promoting your women being bed wenches, and you stupid effeminate men fall for it, and you dumb nigga women are open your legs for it, man. And it's got to be said like that.
Right. The only reason why she's with him is because hopefully he's gonna die soon and leave her ass all that money. You know, he's making her, you know,
disgusting
in her pockets.
Yep.
Getting their bank account up.
Yep. And finishing off, it says, and possessed the cattle. Now here's the point. Then builded they the city of David with a great and strong wall and with mighty towers, and made it a stronghold for them, and they put therein a sinful nation.
Right, and I believe that was Bethlehem, man. Like y'all come the house of bread.
Yep.
The city of David. You know, that's where David was born. That's where Yahweh Shah was born. You know, so they took that holy city, and you know that's where every Jake was going to go to. So that was a very strategic point that they have to capture in Israel. Okay, keep going.
Yeah, they captured home base. So where's gonna be safe now? You know, that's gonna force you. See, we're reading history, what made us Gentiles. You wanna know what made you an African American? You're gonna have to go into the Maccabees.
Right.
70 AD, you know? It says, First Maccabees 1 and 33, they builded the city of David, which with a great and strong wall, and with mighty towers, and made it a stronghold for them, and they put therein a sinful nation, wicked men, and fortified themselves therein.
I might look up a definition of garrison.
Yeah, and that's what they did. They set up a garrison. They set up a palisade.
It's a station of troops and military posts.
Yep.
So there you go.
Yep.
But these were Edomites, Greeks.
Yep.
In our land, they had a military station. Man.
Yep. It says they stored it also with armor and victuals. And so they're planning on staying here and having weapons to fight anybody trying to take them out of here.
Trying to take back Jerusalem.
Right, right.
Because they know the first place they were going to go was where? The city of David.
There you go.
That's where you're going to go.
There you go.
What you're going to do, you're going to pray.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
So the city of David, it's going to say it, but it's because the city of David became a snare unto us.
Yep. It says, and when they had gathered together the spoils of Jerusalem, they laid them up there. Now, who does that today? The military. Don't they go around and take your victuals in the time of war? So are they not going to go through and take through executive orders?
Yep, and the victuals is food, supplies, anything for nourishment. Yep, you know, so this is what the army did back then. This is what ESAU's military is going to do now through executive orders, which they passed during Obama's administration in office.
Yep. And it says, gathered together the spoils of Jerusalem, they laid them up, and so they became a sore snare.
The whole city, man, because if you're an Israelite, you know, just like we was reading Acts yesterday, they went back to worship, but although they were speaking different languages, they went to a particular city on the holy day, man. So that's how it was set up, you know?
Yep. And even when the devout men out of every nation came, going back to Acts, well, it was a Edomite that was a king in Israel, right? Because Herod was a king. They had many Edomite kings, even in the Roman Empire, because we per se got our land back, but we still had a king over us, you know?
Mm-hmm. Keep reading in that.
Yeah.
That's
Maccabees 1 and 36, for it was a place to lie in wait against the sanctuary, so they were waiting for other Jakes to come in.
Yeah, because they knew they were going to come there, man. You know?
And that's why Esau attacked us on the Sabbath.
Well, that's like the capital, you know? That's like the capital in D.C.
Yep.
You know, that's like us getting a hold of the capital. Oh, we know they're going to come here. We just wait for it.
Yep. Oh, the phone probably died. It's all good. It says, an evil adversary to Israel, thus they shed innocent blood on every side of the sanctuary and defiled it.
Amos 1 and verse 11, thus said the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof.
Right, so he ain't gonna. He's never. There's no way he can escape the punishment, man. Okay, and the Most High, he's just, he's just buttering him up all good, so that when that judgment finally comes, it's gonna be that more incredible, man. That much more endurable for the Israelites, man.
It says, because he did pursue his brother with the sword.
Right, you go into that word pursue, it means to harass, all right, to chase down, to humiliate, to oppress.
And it says, and David cast off all pity, and his anger did turn perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever.
Right, man, he kept his wrath forever. Even going back to Cain, even going back to Cain and Abel, when Abel offers up a righteous sacrifice to the Lord, okay, what did Cain do? He offered up an abominable sacrifice. Then he got mad because his sacrifice got rejected, but Cain's got rejected, but Abel's was accepted. Then those twin boys, okay, all right, those men, I should say, they came back as twin boys, as Jacob and Esau. Okay, those same spirits are back. And what did Esau say? The days of mourning for my father at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob. Right. So it's killing Jacob has always been in his heart, man.
Verse 12, it says, but I will send a fire upon Teman, which shall devour the places of Basra.
Right, America. All right, so that's another cut that America is going to be destroyed by fire. But what kind of fire? Nuclear fire. Okay, because it tells you in Isaiah that this shall be fought with burning and fuel of fire. Okay, so this place, it has to be destroyed worse than Sodom and Gomorrah. This is fucking Sodom. Okay, this is Sodom and Egypt, man. Oh, that's America, man. This place is spiritually Sodom. You got men with men, woman with woman. Okay, the prison system is totally satanic, homosexual. Okay, you got women that you got so-called studs, which is a woman dressed as a man. She looking at you and your woman like she'll beat your ass and take your woman.
Right. Everything here is upside down, man. What Psalm 55 said, right? Psalm 55, starting at 1, verse 3. 20, yeah. Oh yeah, excuse me. Psalm 55 and verse 20. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant.
Right, the covenant is a contract, and it tells you, if you go back to Maccabees, that our people, they made a contract with the heathen, but what did he do? He broke that covenant and killed them and took the city,
Right.
And that's part of the process of us becoming Greeks, okay? Because when you read in the New Testament, the Greeks are Israelites, man. Okay, this gospel, this good news is only for Israel. Right. The reason why the apostles got the power to speak different tongues was to reach the Israelite that was scattered in those different lands. That's it,
Verse 21, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
Right, he talks real smooth, even to this day. Take this juice, this and that and the third, he talks real smooth, man.
And it says, but war was in his heart.
But he's planning on how he can destroy you, all right? How he can cast you into a pit, man, and take your organs.
His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Keep going.
That's the point.
Okay, gotcha. This is the book of Sirach. Sirach chapter 12 and verse 10. It says, never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
Right, like iron rusted. Eventually iron rust, man. All right, eventually that iron will rust. Eventually the devil's horns will show, man. Eventually he'll call you a nigger, call the cops on you. I remember one time I went to make a delivery, right? And the cops were behind me. This fucking devil tried to flag the cop down as if I was, in his driveway to escape the cops.
Wow.
But I was delivering his package.
What the fuck, man?
You see? So that's how these people look at us. Like we're just a bunch of fucking criminals, niggers, thieves.
Yeah. Well, that's why in our kingdom, Esau, he's gonna be that criminal, that that thief, that murderer. because what they say in Deuteronomy 37, all these curses is going to be taken off us, then put on our enemies. So now Esau eat them. You know? Verse 11, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him.
Right, don't never trust this motherfucker. Don't matter if he's a soft, weak Bill Gates looking nigga. He's still the fucking devil, man. Bill Gates is the devil, man. All right, Fauci, Trump, Biden, they're all devils, man. You know, don't let that humble shit fool you, man.
That's right.
You know?
And it says, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away.
Right. Can you make a crooked thing straight?
Right.
Okay. So you can never fix the hatred that this man has in his heart for you, or his plan for world domination, because that's always been his agenda. You know.
Verse 12. Set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand.
Right, and that's what he did during the so-called Dark Ages. That's why you got the Pope now is a so-called Edomite. That's exactly what he did. Right. Because really, he didn't have to build nothing. Jake already built the castles. You know, Jake already built all of that up. He set the church up. So all Esau fucking crusty ass had to do was put on the garments. You know, put his people in those cities. You know?
And it says, when he have overthrown, excuse me, when he have, verse 12, set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place, neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat, and thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith.
Right, now what do they do? Now they call themselves the people of God, man.
Right.
So they want our land, they want our nationality, they want our language, they want to be us. You know, they want to be us and exterminate us. This man, he's so fucking bugged out and crazy. He wants to exterminate the Israelites. But to do that, he's getting power from Satan. He's actually making sacrifices to Satan for power, so that he can get in Jacob's lot, man. That's very fucking bugged up.
That's right. In verse 13, who would pity? Excuse me. Verse 13, who would pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beast? No.
Right. So right though, because if you take your ass to one of his clinics, you know, you're in there with a serpent. You're in there with a wild beast, and you let him bite you, that's pretty much on you. You know, the Apostle Tahar put out a video, anyone who took the thing is fucked. Yeah. You know, you pretty much through, man. You know?
Yeah, and Jake's in the spirit, like under when King Hezekiah had to destroy that idol. The reason why Jake idolizes the hospital is because they're idolizing that serpent on the staff again, which they did that in 1 Kings 17. You actually had a Judite king that had to destroy the brass serpent, man, on the staff.
They call it the Houston, the great brass serpent, which goes into the staff of Seducus. Okay, because when the Greeks got it, they made it into the staff of a false god, man, which is where you get the Hippocratic Oath from. Okay, you see all these doctors, people that are in the medical field, they have to actually take a Hippocratic Oath. And that oath, and if you take an oath, it means you swear. Okay, the scripture says that you ain't supposed to swear. Okay, so them taking that oath, they're taking on the god of Apollo, which is a god of healing, the staff, and Hygeia. Okay, which Hygeia is the Greek god for hygiene, man. So it's total idolatry. This place is submerged in idolatry on every level.
This is the book of Job 13 and verse 4. But ye are forgers of lies.
Right, America is a lie. them being the people of the Most High, that's a lie. Us being black, African American, that's a lie. Home of the free, land of the brave, that's a lie. Everything here is alive, man.
And it says, ye are all physicians of no value.
Right, a physician is someone who works with natural herbs, natural way of healing. In history, Hippocrates, who they get the Hippocratic Oath from, he had a quote, let food be thy medicine and let medicine be thy food. Okay, so-called Dr. Savior. That's a true physician. But America don't have physicians. They have witches, man. They have pharmacies. Okay, which pharmacies go back to the Greek word pharmakia, which means witchcraft, the administering of drugs. You see? That's right. Which is why they want to give you that juice, because that's an administering of drugs. You know, to alter your DNA and to destroy you.
It's a biological weapon.
Right.
I believe the A, Astra means weapon. You know, you got Pfizer, Moderna, murder.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
It does.
Yeah.
This is the book of Sirach 10 and verse 10. It says, the physician cutteth off a long disease, and he that is today a king, tomorrow shall die.
Right, that physician, that true physician is Yahushua, man. Yahushua didn't need no damn sea moss. He didn't need no turmeric. Okay? He just put his hands on you, or he just spoke it and you were healed, man. You know?
Mm-hmm. And now when Jake put their hands on you, it hurts.
Right.
Yeah.
Before it healed.
Right. Lay hands on you.
Right.
Got something right.
I'm still at Maccabees, but it made me think of the one where it says he was neither herb nor mollifying plaster. But not to go into it. Yeah, but not, because we might misinform, Right. First Maccabees 1 and 37, it says, thus they shed innocent blood on every side of the sanctuary and defiled it, insomuch that the inhabitants of Jerusalem fled because of them. Where'd they flee?
Right.
Where did they go to finish living? What other lands were they going to? You see? So this all proves the Gentiles, why it says Jew nor Greek. Because they knew specifically that the Israelites that fled were identifying as Greeks. But now, for some reason, Greek means everybody.
Right.
And it says,
Or even Christian. Because the first Christians are the disciples. That doesn't include everyone.
right. And it says, insomuch the inhabitants of Jerusalem fled because of them, whereupon the city was made a habitation of strangers.
Deuteronomy 28 and verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from the one end of the earth even unto the other.
Right, so our people got scattered in Asia Minor. They got scattered in Greece. They got scattered in Turkey. They got scattered amongst the Elamites, amongst the Arabians, amongst the Africans, the Ethiopians, the Ethiopian eunuch,
Armenians.
All right. See, from all four corners of the world, in the Roman Empire, Britain, Spain, everywhere, man. France, everywhere. Jake has been pretty much just pushed, man.
And what's Jake do when he get there? He finds a warm bed and a warm woman to lay with. Come on, that's our culture.
And the seed.
It really is though. That's Jake, man. We're the quote unquote lover boys of the earth. Mr. Lava Man, Shaba.
Right.
That's Jake, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, even in the world, you brothers know we quote unquote ladies, man. Women love us. And hey, even though we get on the black women love us too. You know what I mean? She's just got a funny way of showing it. You brothers know what I mean, though.
Give me first Ezra 8.
Yep. This is First Ezra, chapter 8 and verse 70, and it reads, for First Ezra 8 and 70, for both they and their sons have married with their daughters. Can I start up, Baba Kishar? 69. It said, the nation of Israel, the princes, the priests and Levites have not put away from their strange people of the land, nor the pollution of the Gentiles, to wit of the Canaanites, Hittites, Pharisaites, Jebusites, which Jebusites is the Jebus, the land of Jerusalem. All right. And the Moabites, Egyptians, and Edomites.
Mark of the beast.
Oh shit!
You know what they say, right? You deal with white women, that's the mark of the beast. So I guess they had mark of the beast.
Right, they had the mark.
Man, that's crazy.
And it says, for they both and their sons have married with their daughters.
They got married.
Married with children. Had Bud and Peggy. And the holy seed is mixed.
The what?
The holy seed is
We
mixed.
got that holy seed, man. Being an Israelite. That's why in Egypt, what did they want to do? They wanted to kill the males and keep our women. To put their funky ass seed up there.
To take away the holy seed.
Cut us off from being a nation.
Yep.
Man. Give me that.
Psalms 83?
Yeah. That's what it's about.
Yep.
Cut Israel off.
Vasectomies, plan the parenthoods, for who? Jake. That's it's heavy now with this whole, I'll just say throwing babies back in the rivers, which they're doing right now, modern day. Why are they doing that? Because they're getting ready for their new world order. They need they're harvesting all that, or you know.
Yep, and that's also a modern day sacrifice to Molech.
There you go.
All right, it's that Al, because he's a god of all the Moabites. He's sacrificing babies to Molech, man.
Fucking certified lover boy Drake is into that shit now.
Yep.
You know, he's a mascot for Moab, Moabite god, if you will. It's right. It says, and the holy seed is great, but I got some holy seed over here.
Nigga probably was the main one in the ancient world.
Hell, he was probably the one Nehemiah ripped his beard off,
Yep.
teaching him the Moabite language.
Yep.
You know? So it says, and the holy seed is mixed with the strange people of the land. And it says, and from the beginning of that proves there's no condoms. Because how was that seed mixed? You know, now California says no ghosting. Y'all know what do you mean?
Right.
What you mean? You know, we got holy seed out here, baby.
Right.
You know?
Right. It will multiply.
Right. And it says, and from the beginning of this matter, the rulers and the great men have been partakers of this inequity.
Right, going back to Solomon.
Yep.
Right? He's the greatest king ever, the richest and wisest king. You know?
Now, why do they say it was inequity? Why did King Solomon go off? Because, see, with dealing with heathens now, they have other gods. So it could be a stumbling block. But in our kingdom, they're going to know our God is the true God, and they're going to know we're the Israelites, like Rahab, and they're going to be under our cuffs, under our grasp, and they're not going to be pushing false ideologies or false idols.
Also,
That's all
like
it means.
also like Ruth.
Yep.
You get the book of Ruth.
Yep.
With that song, right?
Oh,
Psalm 83 and verse 3 says, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hated ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be, excuse me, it's like my bad, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
yeah, that's what it's about, man. That's why we grew up thinking that we're black people, man.
I'm black, y'all. I'm black,
Yeah.
y'all. I'm blacker than black.
And we're proud too.
Yeah, oh, stand loud. I'm black and I'm proud.
Yeah.
That's a spell, bro.
Evil, not proud.
And James Brown ain't even black. He's a Reubenite.
Right.
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 You know?
But that's that confusion. You know, that's that confusion.
Verse 5, it says, for they have consulted together with what consent, they are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom.
Edom,
And
fucking the first name mentioned is the so-called white man. Even when the Babylonians took us down, the Edomites were there too, destroying our temple, killing who the Babylonians left off killing, and enslaving our people, man. You know?
Yeah, why didn't it say the Japhites?
Right.
Because Esau's not Japhet.
Right.
You know, Esau's a Shemitic Hebrew Edomite.
Yeah.
All right? That's why it says he was rejected because if you will, if it was first born, as they say, it was been Abraham, Isaac, Esau, but he was rejected, so that's why it's Abraham, Isaac, Jacob.
Right.
So Esau's the main progenitor to fight against that blessing.
Yep.
He actually thinks through Satan he could get his birthright back.
He's Satan. He's the adversary.
Yeah.
He's the old serpent.
Yep. Yep.
And it says, and the Ishmaelites,
Oh, there you go. And that's what it was during the so-called Middle Ages, man. You had the fucking Ishmaelites took over our land, and then when Esau got out of the caves, they got with Ishmael. Okay, that's why